Richie Rich Show.
In the ABC 7 Alert Center with breaking news and a warning. You may find the details of this story disturbing. A woman accused in Mexico of several murders and body dismemberments, even removing victims' hearts, is arrested in El Paso. And within the last 10 minutes, ABC 7 obtained this arrest photo. She is Michelle Angelica Pineda, also known as La Cheli. She was wanted for 5 murders in Juarez. She's also suspected of being involved in several other killings. Investigators say she crossed illegally into the U.S. and was operating on behalf of the gang Artistas Asesinos, or assassin artists. The FBI says Pineda was known for extreme brutality, dismembering bodies, removing hearts, and placing the hearts in front of Santa Muerte statues. Authorities say they found guns, machetes, and fentanyl, as well as other drugs at the motel. El Paso's FBI says several law enforcement agencies worked together to arrest Pineda at an El Paso motel.
Hey, what's up, y'all? What's going on? Trucker Richie Rich back on the ones and twos on this late night tip at the house. The video I just uploaded was about the Cartel killers. In my heyday, I met a couple of Cartel killers. I once did the Immigration and Enforcement Task Force in the Northeast. That's between Philly, New Jersey, and New York. And we were tracking down this guy. I want to say his name is Ramirez. What was his first name? I think like Julio or Jose Ramirez. He was a contract killer for the cartel. But what made him really unique is that he was only like 18, 19 years old, but he was a seasoned killer. I used to call him the Joker because his face was painted. He had tattoos that resembled the Joker card. So I was calling him Little Joker. They finally did catch him. And I think he was responsible in Mexico and the United States for like 25 murders. And the crazy thing about this young boy, he was so charismatic, so childish in look, you know? When you saw him, you thought you were talking to like a teenage boy. But he was a seasoned killer since he was like 12 years old. And the cartel usually targets young guys to make them killers because people never see them coming. But the reason I'm making this video is because I was approached by cartel like 3 times in my trucking career. Once in Brownsville, Texas, and twice in Laredo. The cartel likes to target black guys and truck drivers to move whatever product or whatever they have going on. The first 2 situations, I was, just told dude I was too busy. The men who walked up and approached me. The third one, I was sitting down at a restaurant and I was approached by 3 guys. And they offered me $5,000 to back up to a warehouse. And they wanted to move a pallet between Laredo and Dallas for $5,000. The reason I'm making this video because it's a high risk, high reward life. I told you guys I don't see black and white no more. I see a lot of gray. And it is a risk. You get caught moving people or product, you're going to go to jail for life. But if you get away with it, you just got a $5,000, $6,000 payday. A couple years ago, there was a brother down in Laredo who got approached. And they had him move about 30 bodies between Laredo and San Antonio. And he actually got past Border Patrol. And what happened is that his reefer broke down and the people in the back suffocated. Now that brother is sitting on death row in Texas. You know, I would never encourage anybody to get involved in that lifestyle because, see, a lot of times the cartel likes to send dummy loads. They might send 2 or 3 kilos with you and then have the police pull you over and arrest you while the other 10 or 15 gets through. Do you understand? It's it's an old trick they've been doing for years, but you know, this video of the young lady just, it made me think about my very first few months driving truck about 11 years ago. And what made me think about it is I was in El Paso. I used to go over into Mexico freely when I used to drive for Stevens. I used to park at the Petro in El Paso and go into Juarez. And I used to park at the drop yard in Laredo and go over to New Laredo. You know, I used to go exploring, but I stopped doing that in El Paso because of this, because of people like her. You know, you don't know who's a killer. You understand? You don't know who's a killer. You know, some people down in Mexico have killed so many people. It would make Charles Manson, Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy look like amateurs. Honest to God. There's people down in Mexico who are paid assassins who might have over 100 bodies on them. Okay? There's some real killers, and they start very young. Don't get it twisted. When you're 12 years old, 11 years old, they start you out as an assassin. I don't know if you older truck drivers can remember, but the Petro in El Paso, there used to be a guy there that used to come in there and he would offer to take people over to Mexico, to Juarez, to go party. And he was pretty trusted, and he would take you over there, let you get drunk, let you go to the whorehouses, let you go see a donkey show. Listen, I didn't think it was true until I seen a video of it, and it's wild. If you don't know what a donkey show is, they do that in Juarez, okay? But one day I was sitting at the the diner in the Petro, and he offered to take me over, and I was about to go over, but recently they had killed, they had killed about 20 people randomly. I think there was a drug war going over in Juarez. And then they recently killed Malcolm X's grandson. It was made national news over a bar dispute in Juarez. And, the State Department was warning people of color not to go over. So I decided not to go over. But, yeah, I just thought I'd get on here. I mean, there is a dark side of trucking. A lot of product gets moved in trucks. I'm talking people and drugs, and, before I used to be very black and white. And I still, I'm not saying I support it or anything, but what I'm saying is there's owner operators out here, and actually you'd be surprised. It's probably more of the mega carriers that do it unintentionally, okay? Years ago, Stevens had to fire a broker or a transfer company down in Mexico because they were transporting loads of cocaine or drugs through the border, and I think they got busted one too many times. It happens. The cartels, you can't get that kind of work through this country, easily anymore. But back in the day, they did. On trains and cargo. You'd be surprised. You can have $5 million worth of cocaine in a box that's only 6 by 6, or no, 3 by 3. A regular box that we use to put beef and meat and product in. And how many boxes are in the back of the truck? What, 2,200? Okay. You only need 2 or 3 boxes to move $10 or $15 million worth of cocaine or product in it. So, it is it is coming over in a truck. I remember one time I was in, where was that? Amarillo. And there had to be about 15 Texas State Police up on I-40. And they were pulling over every car hauler, everyone. And they were going through them with the dogs. They were taking things apart. That's when I had a CB in my truck, and guys got on the CB like, hey, there's bears up here stinging everybody. And what they were looking for was drugs. And somebody came on the radio and said, yeah, somebody snitched. And it probably was the cartel. Like I said, they send dummy loads over, and they'll have you go to jail for fucking 20, 30 years just to get the other product over. Okay? They do that all the time. They feel like they're gonna lose a load. And a dummy product might be bad grade stuff, not top grade stuff. Just stuff to get over so they can get somebody, they can get the other stuff through. They do misdirection all the time. But when I seen a video of this woman, young girl, she can't be no more than 23 years old. And she's a fully trained diabolical assassin. They got him down there in Mexico, man. But going back to my police days, we caught the baby joker, I should say. And I remember talking to him and looking at him, and I was telling my partners, I was like, yo, I could not tell, like, you would never think a killer would be like that, so, I don't know, it was like talking to like a teenager or something. You would never imagine he was responsible for all those homicides, do you know what I mean? And he was in New York hunting down an informant, I think he was. Luckily, we got to him before he got to the informant, but they used to do that all the time, send assassins into this country. Okay. But I just thought that was interesting. This ain't a trucking video today. This is about the dark side of trucking, I guess we're going to talk about. If you guys have ever been approached by cartel, drop a note. I want to know how you got away from it. The last guy to approach me, man, they showed me the cash and everything, and I just told him, I was like, I came up with some bullshit excuse about my truck being broke or stuff, man. And they walked off pretty cool. But yeah, it happens out here. I don't know if it happened as much, but I'm thinking the way the market is and how bad it is, I'm surprised. Anyway, I'm home. I might have a big announcement coming up pretty soon. I'm going to share with you guys. I'm doing, I'm thinking about some things, and I'll share it with you guys when see how things work out for me. But y'all, until next time, y'all take it easy. I'm just up here on a late night burning some oil. And y'all be safe, man. It's getting rough out here as far as trucking, as far as the revenue and the freight, it's getting rough. So, I understand if some guys are taking some penitentiary risks. I'm not saying you should, but the temptation to take penitentiary risks is high. Temptation's out there. Peace and love.